Welcome back to the Mental Wealth Podcast. We are hoping that you have enjoyed our previous episode where we were talking about toxic relationships. Now, that was a part 1, and here is a continuation of that episode, and we hope that it's our hope that you will learn something from this episode that has been basically people pouring their hearts out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, look out for more of what you saw in the last episode. And I want to come back to Derrick.
Yeah.
Because Derrick himself has been in a toxic relationship.
And he was the toxic
And he was also the toxic one.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, Derrick, how does it feel to be in a toxic relationship?
You're completely drained. One, these people or that affair, you're always the one who is on the wrong. Your partner is never wrong. They always find a way to turn tables.
So this partner was blaming you?
Always blaming me. You know the way you'll feel like this energy is not being reciprocated the same way. Something is amiss.
Yeah.
It's either we are not dating. There's another guy in this relationship.
You feel like you're like 3 people in a relationship.
Yeah,
That.
And this kind of conversation unasikia na kupigia story about a certain guy, the way she keeps on talking about the guy nini, and then her energy in this relationship of ours, you don't feel completely. And then when I'm like initiating a conversation, like, can we have a conversation? I just don't feel like things are okay. And then the next thing is like, no, you're overthinking, everything is fine. In fact, we have not had conflicts for the last few weeks. And that means everything is just well. I think you're the one who has issues, always finding a reason to avoid the conversation, or 2, always have a way to blame you. For example, if she at one point ended up cheating, her reason was I played a part in her cheating.
How?
I was the reason for her to go to cheat.
Take us through the logic.
Yeah, because
they always like, you are not there for me. Sometimes you're not talking to me. There is always a reason why they cheated.
That is by you.
That is by me. I am the one who has initiated the cheating, So it all comes from, they never take any blame. They never take any
responsibility.
Yes, they never take responsibility. And then they thrive so much on manipulation, guilt, obligation, and fear.
Oh yeah.
Like, you always feel obliged to do what they want.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a choice.
Yes, if you don't want to do it, they will always come with some sort of fear. They can be direct fear or indirect fear. There are those who will use money to make you get fear, and other factors. And then the guilt. They leave you with guilt. You love me, but you're not doing this. You love me, but you're claiming that I'm cheating on you. So those for me was one of the biggest red flag. Number 2, I'd say her phone was a no-go zone. Never. Like, there was, I couldn't even get close to me. Never. How would I even dare touch her phone? And she was like very clear, I don't touch her phone. If I want issues, I touch her phone. If I don't want issues, I just don't touch her phone.
So at this time, what is going on through your mind? Because you are the one who is messing the relationship up. You're the one who is making her cheat. You can't access her phone. So what was your life like?
My life was a hell. May I be honest. If you're coming from a point where you're not experienced true love or a comfortable environment, it becomes difficult to move out. And then number 2, what was the process like getting into this relationship? How long did it take me to get into this relationship? Was it a day thing, 2 days thing? If it is a 2-3 days thing, I think I can walk away, But you can imagine at a point where you have chased this person for a long time. First of all, chasing somebody for a long time is just another crazy stuff. Your environment itself, probably the family at that time was not really supportive. Things are not working the way you'd want, things to work from home. You are like, I know things would be better. You always remind yourself things would be better. I know maybe she's having some sort of things she's experiencing. She just loves me. I should not overthink. I also agree with her. Sometimes I overthink, or I'm too emotional. You start seeing yourself as the emotional one, and then the partner as being logic. And you're like, I should not be that emotional. I should be logic. I should understand even if 2 days we don't talk, she's just busy. Those kind of things. But energy doesn't lie. Energy in anything. And the way somebody treats you is the way they will always treat you.
Yeah,
You
the way
know.
somebody treats you is how they feel about
That
you.
is how they feel about it. There are times, or many occasions, she'll be very verbally abusive to me over the phone, and I'll be like, sometimes she'll call it and did you get angry? I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm
But
good.
there's not
I'm
me.
good, I'm good.
Sorry to interject, but personally, I'm really against people saying things and telling you it was in the moment, I was drunk and things like that. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So whatever they've told you is what is in them. Whether they were drunk, whether they were angry, that is what is in their hearts. And they just, an opportunity presented itself in a place where they couldn't control or filter. Usually they filter, that's why you don't know. But for somebody to tell you things like that and to be abusive, that's how they really feel about you. Sorry, you can continue.
Yeah, so the other behavior I completely found strange, and it made me do a lot of research about personalities and disorders. At one point, we would spend a very beautiful beautiful moment together. You can imagine tumetoka kuachana like late in the night. The next minute, the next day I'm calling, that phone will be, the conversation will not even take a minute. The energy will be different. Nothing has happened. There has not been any factor that has made her behave this way. Whether it's biological, that somebody might say because of, hormonal, all sorts of. There's looking from her side and everything, her friends and everything. Nobody has stressed her, but the mood has changed completely from, it's from mania to, to. Is it
But even though
depression?
her friends stressed her, Kwani, are you the casualty?
You can communicate, you can
Yeah,
tell somebody by then.
yes, this is what
It's
I've
been a
Today-
bad day.
Yeah.
Exactly. But this was happening quite often. From today or a whole week will be okay, talking sometimes for 2 hours on phone or even 1 hour. And then all of a sudden, within a short span, even a minute, we could not even spend talking on phone. And my phone were not being picked. She was busy all of a sudden, so much busy. Sometimes she could forget. You send some messages during the night and then my excuse nakab during kesho yake, sorry I slept early.
Only some chan.
Exactly. Imagine somebody is taking you after 2 days and she's like, I was just busy.
I slept.
I slept. We have organized a date. We're supposed to meet up, hook up, and eat. It's something we have organized for like, it's a whole week preparation. I've briefed you early enough. And then the day we're supposed to meet, we even talk, and we are still meeting. And then the time we're supposed to meet, you don't even call. You're not there where we're supposed to meet. And then when I call, you're like, oh, I got busy. I don't think.
Busy.
We're supposed to meet at 2. You're supposed to be here at 2. Even at 1, you're not calling me at 1 telling me I'm still held up, we might not meet. At 2, again, you're not even in any moment of being bothered that you're supposed to, hook up. It's okay, you're fine, wherever you are, you're happy. Later on, seeing your status, you had a beautiful day.
That is messed up, Derrick.
You know?
At what point did you realize, Manze, this is it? I can't be in this relationship.
For me, it had to meet Elifikadi. Okay, something I think I never told. I had to do my good research. Of course, she had a very, nasemaje, the people who know how to keep the records clean.
Yes.
The records are not clean, but they know how to keep the records clean. Like, people are corrupt. They're corrupt, but you'll never find fines to
You
prove.
will never have.
You'll never find evidence to prove they're wrong.
Yeah.
But I played my cards right. I had intentionally pinned people around her.
And y'all are just in relationships that are making you CID.
Okay.
And then
By the way, true.
Okay.
The way,
That's
I'd
messed
say
up.
like close to 3 or 4, she didn't even know, and some of them are her very close friends. I'd made them very close to me to the point that I could easily get correct information from them about my girlfriend. So the last minute, I'd already made a decision very early, and I was like, there's no way. This thing is going to end this date. And I knew it was going to end on this date. I remember before that date, before I was to end it, I remember that day I met her. It was an amazing day, actually. But I was looking at her, I was like, we're just done, and I feel so bad. There's so much heaviness in my heart. I'm not leaving you because I'm happy. I loved, we end up somewhere as a couple. We have kids together. We had foreseen Mali, the future, yeah.
Even have names. Big
Yeah.
names.
So I had to use like 2-3 people. So they did the research quite well, and I remember my friends were like, I don't know if you'd like
Hautapenda matokeo.
Hautapenda matokeo, you know. And they were
Hii
like,
report niko nayo.
exactly. I don't know if you guys are, there was a program called Cheaters.
Yes.
That program
I
was
remember.
amazing. So
I didn't
they don't. You should go on YouTube and watch Cheaters, one of the best programs. I don't think we're ever going
No one
to get a
will beat
better
that.
program on getting people red-handed,
Handed.
cheating, ndani ya gari, making out, nini, you know, all that. So my friends were like, we don't want to tell you anything. We were talking to her. We were talking to her. This is the evidence. Who want to present here? Who want to present here?
So did the evidence come in pictures, in audios?
Of course, yes, in picture, and then
In a live event?
even not even in the live, even
Screenshots.
screenshots. You know, having a genuine conversation. You know, the good thing is, if you guys are best of friends, there are things you'll be very honest about
yeah.
yourself. You know, and you'll be like, you're telling me about this guy. You tell me more about him. You know, and they're like, yeah, he's my boyfriend. So this is another totally different guy. He's my boyfriend. He's amazing guy. And so many other long, you know, umemaliza swali moja and then the kind of message anatumia essay.
Read more.
But on the other end, I'm being told sour. I was just busy. It's okay. You know, I slept.
Emoji. Thumbs
Emoji.
up.
We shall talk when I'm not.
I'm
busy.
really sorry,
You know.
I'm really sorry. But from what I've heard from guys, they really struggle to live relationships.
A lot. Hey.
How did you manage to let go?
That's what I'm telling you. The time I was leaving this relationship, everything for me was not working out.
It was like attempt 150.
It was that relationship. It was to do with work. It was to do with my esteem. Everything. Ilikuwa imeshafika mwisho. It was like, Derrick, I remember I used to regret waking up every morning. I used to curse every morning. There was no way ungeniambia there's a good day tomorrow and I believe you. No way. I mean, it was just fucked up. Everything was just fucked up, you know. Sometimes even look for people to talk to that you believe they're your mentors, or you can talk to them. By the time you're meeting them, they're so busy. They want to meet you another 1,000 people in the same place. Their intention is not even genuine, you know.
Yeah.
So everything was just messed up. And I was like, I don't know how I was going to make. I was sure I didn't know if I was going to heal. All I knew I was like, let it get over. I don't know if I'm going to heal about this. I don't know if I'm ever going to let this go like I want to let it go. But I don't want to be here anymore. Even meeting people, I remember that period where I stopped meeting people for almost 3 months. I can tell you within a span of a person who was going out every day from our house, meeting people, coming to work and everything, I stopped. I remember I was being called. Niaje, Derrick, are you coming to the office? I'm not coming. I stopped coming. I stopped meeting people completely. I needed time to heal myself. It took me more than 2 months, of course, to first of all let that pain go. But I think for me, anytime the time I completely agree it's done, then I just allow myself to heal. So it took me quite a while to heal. But by the time I was saying it's over, I was not speaking from a point of I'm happy. I was not speaking from a point of I'm the kind of person who can walk and smile at people. No, I was saying it from a point of I'm completely lost. I don't know if I'll see tomorrow.
You just can't
I don't know if I'll die
continue.
of depression, because there was a series of depression. Like, things were messy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I was just in a terrible. I remember I could meet my friends and I tell them, but then kuna depression, and they laugh at me, because the kind of picture people see, mimi nakaa mtu mwenye, you know, the way you see people and you're like, huyu ni mse mwenye si mtu anaweza jump, si mtu anaweza kuwa depressed. You know the way you see let me say celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not even close to a celebrity. But sometimes within our close friends, kuna ule unasema nika celebrity ama is doing well, and you know, such kind of thing. Akwambia is depressed and you're like, who is quite depressed? This is a joke, you know. They're not depressed. And me, when I'm saying things that are true from my heart, I say it sometimes even smiling. And you'll think by then I'm joking. So they'll be like, that's Derrick anatupimia tu akili, because you know, so it was messy. All I can tell any person is, you not walk out because you're happy. You walk out because you are completely broken. You completely have everything to lose at that moment. You completely feel like the person who has always been used. You completely feel like you'll never recover. but
Like
you
it's
know,
just a point where like you can't move forward.
you can't.
in
You don't
that
see.
phase.
You don't even see beyond your nose. You don't see, like, you know, the way you have placed your life. It's more of placing your life in somebody because you have already seen life with them. Tutaenda kubaia hapa pamoja nini, and maybe even during that time of dating you had already gone out and spotted some few things that you want to have in your house nini, you know. So
Yeah, you are serious, bro.
no, may love. I don't do.
Fully.
I don't do.
I hear you.
I don't do at a 1 month, 2 months
Nusu
dating
mkate,
nini.
hakuna.
May I. So yeah, that's me guy. Nimepiga story guy.
Thank you, Derrick. Thank you, Derrick, for sharing. But I want us to revisit that, and I'm also happy. How are you doing now?
I am doing well.
Are you
Of
happy?
course, after that relationship, of course, na nikajipata kwa zingine zenye pia zilini mess up. So after yenye sasa
Unasoma short course ya character development.
hiyo si short course bana. Mimi nimepata PhD. Umemaliza, mmoja amekupigia
No,
character
like that,
development.
what I meant is the one you were from, yenye unatuambia, was like the degree, but hizi zingine were like short courses.
Yeah, so
To improve on your skills.
so by the last time I was in a relationship, which is ilikuwa 2020.
Hey.
Yeah, 2020. It has been me healing. It has been me healing. I think I've never imagined I have so much power in me. Guy,
You do.
the things I've done since the time I walked out of relationships to heal. I have done so much well. And then the moment I realized actually, even the people have said they were toxic, I was the one who was also toxic. I was almost equal to their level. So, ilikuwa moment hadi I was like almost in tears, like I'm telling myself I was toxic. And it is evident, yes, I can look at this, I can look at my childhood, this is what I related to, this is what I knew, this is what, and I'm like, yes, if I don't heal.
Let me ask you, Derrick. Let's talk about this being toxic in a toxic relationship. And apart from you coming from a background that let's say you are what? What's the word? You are predisposed to attracting toxic people.
Yeah.
Apart from that, is there any other role? Like, were you toxic in any other way?
I was I was a codependent. You know, like you are so clingy. You want to talk to Vicky all the time. You want to know where Vicky is. Like, I need people around me so that I can be okay. I need validation to, you know, if you always need validation, I mean, you have something to work on, you know. So I was always needy to just want that affirmation, to want that presence, to want somebody to tell me I'll be fine. And of course, the fact that I related with toxic nature, and then what else made me, was there any other thing? Self-esteem issues, you know. I doubt my self-image. My self-image has been crushed, you know. The self-image that people have been telling me is the kind of self-image I have. I've not gone to the mirror to look at myself and restructure the wrong information I had about me to say this is the person I want, you know. Not even having the confidence to look at myself in the mirror, you know. Why am I even looking at myself in the mirror in the first place? Do I have anything to look at in the mirror, you know? So all these things have been crushed.
Most of those are issues that come from, say, your childhood and your background. But let me ask, is there at any point that this person that you're with insulted you and you insulted back? Were you caught up in what the relationship had turned out to be, and you were just...
I can recall moments where she abused me verbally.
Did you
Reciprocate?
Did you reciprocate in the same?
No.
So you aren't.
Okay.
Unless I call her to ask.
You don't remember being...
Though I just remember there were words I could use that were not... Because again, something I realized, toxic people are very sensitive to words. Like they're toxic to you in terms of being verbally toxic or abusive. When you say anything even slightly that's almost close to being abusive, they will note it very early. You know, the way you wanasemaga watu waongo wapendi watu waongo. They can see a liar because they know themselves. They can see another person who's like them. So I think sometimes this abuse, I was projecting it to somebody else. It was not going another party. I was not your partner. I was taking in garbage and then throwing it garbage to another partner because this is a woman I love, you know. And
You
as
can't
much as I want to, sometimes I'm talking to her on phone, she's telling me so much that is draining me, but I'm like, no, you can keep on talking, it's okay. I'm not happy, I'm just like, itaisha lini, you know. Until I got to a point, there was a lady I was talking to, she was like, Derrick, why are you always like this? Why do you always talk to me like you hate me, you don't care about me, you know. I never, but there's, after that conversation, I sat down myself and I was like, she's right. I've never been kind to that woman. All these friends you have, and they just genuinely care about you. I've never been kind. But at that time I was like, I've been abusive to you, you know, for the period I've been in my relationship, and you have been just okay, and you've been like, you just don't talk to me. I was like, what? You know, and I was like, true. So I was not pouring it to her. I was pouring it elsewhere. So other people will be like,
so other people will be affected.
Yes,
because
they're
you're
affected.
in a toxic relationship.
Yes. The way
so what you get is what you give.
What you get is what you give. If you're in a toxic environment in your workplace, it's high likelihood you not project it to your boss or to your colleague. You project it to your brother, to your children.
Somebody.
That is how it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a domino effect.
So in my relationship, it was cool.
Yeah, you're calm.
I am a diplomat in my relationship. All is well, but when you simu,
you're peacekeeping in your relationship.
I'm doing peacekeeping, but you call me,
you'll
hear of it. I'm doing everything UN is doing to calm issues. UN is doing nothing.
Anyway, you guys, this has been such an amazing episode. We are recording, and we need to end this so that our listeners, not viewers, our listeners are just not wondering, okay, because it's also, I think it's been a very heavy episode. There's so much we could discuss, but you two having been in toxic relationships or situations, what is the one thing you tell somebody who is in that position?
It's okay to live.
How do they live?
It's okay to live. How do you live? Just live. I don't know if that makes sense.
Without a plan?
Yes. Because personally speaking from my point of view, I just knew now when I officially for that even that breakup to violence. It was on a Valentine's Day. I just knew by 1 p.m. and I'm gone. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do. But I just knew
you were going.
I am gone. So if you've gotten, and I encourage you to get to a point where you want to live, imagine live. Things will work out. And I especially feel for people who have children or are financially dependent on that person.
Yeah, because they'll be like, you guys, you're like single.
Yes.
No, not single per se, you're not married, you don't have kids, you don't understand my situation.
I would much rather have your kids grow up in a healthy environment without a particular parent than grow up with two parents and in a toxic environment.
That's true, because it does something to the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will co-parent, your kids will be mad at you at a particular point. It's like, oh, mama alienda wapi, my dad alienda wapi. But the moment one day you sit them down and tell them, okay, this is what was happening and this is what was going on, you'll be grateful that child, you protected their mental state. Especially if you have children, you're not even doing this for yourself anymore.
Yeah, but it's usually I'm staying for the kids.
It's a lie. And I wish my mom never did that. Because I'm also coming from a very toxic family.
Where the parents stay for the kids.
It's a lie. Because now you're blaming the children. Another thing, what parents usually do is, now when you and your partner get back together, it's not the children who are bad. Because they're not understanding why you got back with the man. But now I'm torn now. Do I understand you for getting back with your husband? Or do I validate my feelings of, the both of you actually have hurt me?
Oh.
It isn't the only person who's hurting the other partner. It's also the person who's been hurt. It's like, ulibaki ndo kushindangu ukiniambia unajua nilibaki juu ya babako. I'm not saying my mom does that, but you see, that's what people say. So live, and it's okay. You might not have a plan, but things will work out.
Derrick, talk to the men especially.
To the men, the biggest trouble with living a toxic relationship, especially when your self-esteem had been crushed earlier, is you always doubt. You always like, what if I made the wrong decision?
Yeah. What if I never find somebody like that?
What if they change? Because what keeps hope is dangerous in toxic relationship. Yes, hope actually is very poisonous. They will change. what if
change them.
I walk out of this relationship and then I realize I was the one who was making her life or his life difficult, you know. So what helped me, I think, that time when things were really difficult, I used to sijui venye nilijipata watching videos and reading things that led to toxic nature, you know. So I was like, I was reading books, I was watching stuff on YouTube, and I was like, what? I've been messing my life the whole time in this relationship, because everything they were saying, they were like, you know, you were watching a video and they were like, are they discussing me? As somebody told them about my experience, you know. I go to comment section, people are pouring out their hearts, and they're like, they stopped. Somebody's saying they have been in a marriage for 30 years, they walked out, it's their 5th year, they are healing, and I'm like, my relationship has not even lasted for 3 years. Why am I saying I'll never heal? Why am I saying I'm going to die? Why am I saying I'm going to, you know, depression is going to pin me down? So those things kept me alive, and they were like, I can still move on. So for me, I think before I made that major decision was watching these kind of things and rewatching, and then later you watch another video there, like you might think of going back to it, which is true. You get into a season where you want to bargain, you know, to go back, to say no, you want to go, you deny everything. But those videos, those documentaries or books I read that time were affirming everything and every process I was going through, and they made my process to be successful.
Wow. I think what I want to mention about healing or leaving a situation like that. One, I think from listening to both Derrick and Vicky, you have gotten an idea that it's not an easy thing to do. Leaving, as much as is what you need to do, it is not easy, and you might take a long time arriving to the decision that I need to leave. And that's okay. The other thing you have to understand that after leaving, it's not over. Like Derrick is saying, you will have bargaining. You'll be like, oh, I should go back. Oh, I should, you know, those things, because this is somebody you love, or this is somebody that is dear to you. So you feel like, hey, I might not survive without them, because you have been depending on them, like say for Derrick's situation. So it's not an easy process, but what is turning out, it can be done.
Yes.
Yes, that's the point. It's not easy. So I think the reason I'm saying this is so that somebody that is in that position to appreciate that it's something difficult to do, but it can be done.
Yes.
It is possible to do it.
Before I forget, very quickly, for me, I had to get out of social media. If I'm on WhatsApp, first of all, I delete their contact and people who are close to her, because sometimes when they post something and then it's something good, you always feel like I'm missing
out.
One, I'm missing out. Number two, I had told myself I will be the person who is making the wrong decision, and it's true, I'm making the wrong decision, you know. Avoid environment, whether it's social media environment where you will be reminded, or physical, where it can remind you of what they're doing, or you see them doing a very good thing. It doesn't mean a toxic person are not achieving things outside here.
Actually, yes.
They are achieving.
They are winning.
They are winning.
They are securing
They are
the
being
bag.
celebrated outside here. So you can think of, hey, unataka kuishi na mse ako stable, and then umetoka relationship yenye mse ako stable, you know, they hit you. So disconnect on social media completely. Completely run away from that. If you don't run away, my sister, my brother, you will go back to that relationship. You will continue suffering that toxic relationship.
Whoa. Hey, Derrick, thank you. I feel like today you have been a pastor. But thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, Vicky, for sharing. But also, I like what Derrick said, and this is the last thing I'm saying. I like what Derrick said in realizing that he was toxic in a toxic relationship. Not many of us understand that you, if it's not assault and abuse, but if it's like, say, emotional abuse or things like that, or manipulation, your part can be maybe just allowing it.
Yes.
That is the part that you're playing in helping this person that is abusing you to thrive. Allowing it, or your own deficiencies.
Yeah.
The background you're coming from, your codependency habits, your lack of self-esteem, your lack of self-awareness and understanding you're coming from, let's say, things that you need to heal from. So take time to understand yourself. Take time to understand
A lot of
what is it about me that is making me unable to leave the situation, unable to make a better decision for myself, unable to stand up for myself. Understand that and start working on that.
Yes.
Start working on that, because you definitely need to. I think I'm now gonna stop talking because I can't even finish talking about this thing. But you guys, any parting shots, anything you wanna say before we just say goodbye?
I'll go first. Anyone in a toxic relationship or planning to move or is in one, whatever the case might be, as Lilian has said, you spend the most time by yourself. Like, you never leave. You can leave the person, you can leave the relationship, you can go out and go to work and stuff, but you're always with yourself. If you're not happy with yourself, my friend, even if you're in a healthy relationship and your partner is the most healthiest human being on earth, it won't work out. So, self-awareness, self-love, build your self-esteem in the things that you love. Just basically, continuously work on yourself. Continuously. Whether you're currently, like, it doesn't matter the situation you're at, continuously work on yourself. It's always it's progressive.
Yeah, we're all work in progress.
Yes. Always, like, change. The one thing that is constant in life is change. So, allow it to happen and embrace it. So, continuously work on yourself. You spend the most time with yourself. So, make sure that by yourself, you are happy and content with who you are. Yeah.
Derrick?
A build up on what Vicky has said. The day you realize you have so much power, you'll never take shit.
True.
The day you'll reach to a point where you know who you are, you know where you want to go, you'll realize by the day you have been allowing so many people to use you. So take that power. So much power is in you, and of course power must always be in you as far as your happiness and your journey to your destination is concerned. So just take charge of yourself and you realize you have so much power in yourself.
Derrick is empowering y'all to be CEOs. Have the power, hire, fire, promote.
Toxic workplace katayo.
According to how you see fit. Like, you really are the boss of your life. Make the decisions accordingly. And don't ever expect somebody is coming to look out for your interest. Nobody is coming to look out for you.
We are all selfish human beings.
Yeah, you are the one who can look out for yourself. So even though you're in a relationship, you need to communicate. You need to say what your needs are and all those things. Guys, it's been amazing. Thank you so much, Vicky, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Derrick, for being so open to talk about your experiences. I'm happy you didn't mention that ex that we always hear about.
The exes, as you mentioned.
But yeah, give us any feedback in case you need also any kind of support. Let us know and see how we can link you up or how we can help you. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like it, share it, give us feedback. We are happy to improve this podcast on your behalf. Thank you very much. This is where we sign out. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.